Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.
I'm Dr. Willie Jolley.
Dee.
We're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. We've been married for 40 years and haven't had an argument in 38 years. And we tell people how to do that, not only in the book, but also on the free stuff. We give you some tips on doing that on our TED Talk. You can see the TED Talk at ajollymarriage.com or jollymarriage.com. And it's how to never, ever argue again in marriage. Our special guests tonight are Ron and Gladys Pemberton.
They're the Pembertons.
Yes, Ron and Gladys Pemberton. And again, for those who are joining on Instagram, you can hear them, but if you want to see them, you have to join on the Facebook Live or the LinkedIn Live, or you can always see it on the replay on the Jolley Marriage Show on YouTube. Now, Ron and Gladys have been married 47 years, I believe. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's correct.
And interesting. My first date with Dee took me to people's houses where she allowed me to be seen by others, was at their home in Arlington, where she took me and allowed me to escort her. Other than that, I was hidden. Okay, I was hidden. But she finally let me be seen. Anyway, Ron and Gladys not only have been long-term friends, they were involved in our wedding. Their daughter was the flower girl at our wedding, and she's now grown with her own children, living out in California, and we're proud of her. And they are also in our book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. There's a story about them. Do you know what page is on, Ron or Gladys? Do you happen to know?
No, I don't have my book right with me.
I keep looking for it. I don't know, but I'll just recap the story. Ron is a guy who loves cars. He's got a collection of cars. He loves fancy cars, nice cars. When they first got married, early in their marriage, Ron was a high-powered tech salesman. So he would trade out cars every year. Well, he gets married to Gladys, and they have a child on the way after a year or so. And he one day riding down the street, riding by the Mercedes dealership. He said, I'm going to say hi to all my friends over there. I used to buy cars from them every year. And he walked in there with this beautiful car. He said, Gladys would love this car. So he bought it on the spot. He bought the car. And he went home and said, Gladys, look what I bought us. And Gladys said, we got a baby on the way, and you can't do that no more. And he said he learned a valuable lesson going from me to we.
Yes,
am I right, Ron? Did I give it a good synopsis?
Amen.
All right. And they have been able to have 47 years of being we. And working together on such a number of things. Well, one of the things they're working to go on is why we want to have this show tonight. It's because they don't call it a ministry, but it is a ministry. Because ministry is where you help others, you do for others when they can't do for themselves. They have a gift, a love, a helping ministry that they have not ordained. They're just two people who love other people who help with caregiving. And many people who are watching this are dealing with caregiver issues. And
often by default.
Yeah, by default, or however you get to it. But it can impact a marriage, it can impact a relationship, and it can put stress. We've heard of people who had to leave their marriage to go live with their ailing or disabled parent.
Or having
to bring a parent
relative move in,
right? Which
is a major adjustment.
That can be a challenge as well. So we know that. Go ahead. We'll let y'all talk about caregiving and what y'all do for caregiving.
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. And Dee and Willie, thanks for inviting us to be with you this evening. So we have had two people whom we have had to take care of. One has passed, and the other one is still in a memory care facility.
How many years?
But the one that's still in the memory care facility, let me see, we have been helping her since maybe 2009, but she's been in a facility since 2016. And she was in that facility for 2 years, and then we moved her to another one in 2018. And then in 2023, we moved her to where she is now. So, and the reason you may say, well, why did you move her? We moved her from the first place because it was out in Chantilly and we live in Alexandria. So the travel time was not convenient. And I tried to see her at least 2 to 3 times a week. So that was the reason we moved her from that place to the other place, which is in Alexandria, about 15 minutes from us. And the reason we moved her from that one to where she is now, it was because of the cost. So that's what we did. And the other one, and they were 2 different people altogether. They're not related or anything. The one that passed was an A personality type person. She had to be involved in everything and know everything, which made it very difficult for us to try to do some things. And the other one that we're still working with, she is nonverbal, but even before she became nonverbal, she was always very amenable to whatever it was that Ron and I were trying to do to help her. And the financial advisor, we have a financial advisor who served her and the other one.
Yeah. Wow.
So how, Ron, you helped now these are both. I know one of them is Gladys's best friend, or was her best friend.
Yeah, that's the one we still have.
Yeah, but Ron, you take on just as much responsibility as Gladys in this process.
We're partners in the effort of, and her sister was ill for a while, and she stayed with us. We took care of her with transportation, sometimes to the doctor's appointment, and just overall support in her effort to get healed again. So it's a family affair, whether they're related to you or not. Wow. They're part of your family.
Well, the fact that y'all have worked, I love what you just said, y'all are partners. And I think that's one of the key learning points here is that when you're in a caregiving situation, it's best when you are partners and you see it as partners. It's not your mama or your daddy, it's us. With our family.
So where do you start when someone says, "I know I'm declining, and because of who you are, your temperament, and just the kind of caring people that you are, and I trust you. I'd like for you to help take care of me in my declining state." Where does that start?
Well, I think it starts, from being around people and the care and the attention that you've given them over the years anyway. Now, in terms of the one that's in the nursing home now, as Willie said earlier, I met her in college, and she and I became roommates when we came to DC. And so she has never been married, has no children, and our 2 children are her godchildren. So we more or less look at her like, she's like my sister.
Yes.
And she was smart, she's very smart. And what she did was, there was a guy who was selling insurance.
Now, we were all in the DC public school system as educators.
Yes, as educators. And, there were people who came around doing tax shelters and that kind of thing. Well, this person also was doing insurance, long-term insurance to be specific. And when he went to her school, she was the only teacher there that actually took him up on this. And, they developed a rapport, and thank goodness for him. So through him, she turned him on to the other one that passed, and we met the other one. When you asked how did we meet, the other lady was older, and we met her through our alumni association. Of course, all of us are in the same alumni association, even the one that's still in the memory care facility. So, you know, being in the alumni association and seeing us and visiting us and we visiting them, then that's why, you know, how she came about to ask us if we would be her POAs, power of attorney.
Yes.
And the other one, the one that's still around, she made it a point to have the financial advisor to meet Ron and me at a restaurant, so that, because we didn't know him and he didn't know us. So we got that together. And so after that time, she had him to help her with her will and got herself together. The other one did a will, but I think she, you know, you can go online and do wills and whatnot, and they're sort of ambiguous. And that one, even though she's dead, we're still dealing with her because
Okay.
we had to go probate on her. But
So some
thank goodness.
fundamentals.
Let it finish.
No,
Go ahead, guys.
what you say? Did you ask me something?
I was going to interject. There's some fundamentals of what you're saying. The will, the
Power
trust,
of attorney.
power of attorney, all of those. And what you interjected, sometimes to go online and do it yourself might not be the right thing to do.
Right. And if you do that, you should have an attorney to look it over for you, you know, before you take it and get it finalized and have it validated by the court or by, you know, the attorney. You don't have to go to court, but the attorney can validate it for you.
So the other lady that you guys took care of passed about a year ago now?
Yeah, it'll be 2 years in January.
And you are still dealing with kind of unraveling stuff.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
court appointment January 3rd, 2026. I have to present my final report, but I'm planning to do that by November. So I have everything done just have some checks to write.
Wow.
So when in fact, the financial advisor and I were looking at the will that she wrote and the other day, and see, here's an example. Usually when somebody writes something out, you have to go by the written amount as opposed to the numerical amount. So
Right.
let's say she had, she wanted 75% in written out, but she had 65% in numbers. And when you added up the percentages of those organizations that she wanted funds to go to, it did add up to 65%, not 75. So I had to call the court and ask them, could I please go with the 65 to make everything work out right? And I did get approval on that. But I mean, there were other errors too. But so things like that, if she had done it, time consuming, and if she had done it correctly, then it would have been easier. And beyond that, you have to get a trust. A trust supersedes a will. And Shirley didn't have a trust. And so that's how we ended up in probate. But so make sure you do a will, but also do a trust. And then so you can stay out of the courts.
Right.
And,
right.
So that's several years
That's,
then
wow.
with the court.
Yeah. Okay. I want to get back on. I don't want to get too deep into that. I want to talk about their relationship and how they have partnered, because a lot of people, you probably have talked to lots of people who've come to you, I would assume, because Ron and I are on a Bible study weekly, and Ron always said, pray for the caregivers. And I know that people know that's your focus. And I'm sure people have come to you and said, you know, this is having an impact on my marriage. Have you had those kind of conversations?
We haven't had the depth of the conversation itself, but it is a tremendous amount of work and ability to share your time slots with your spouse.
Yes.
And so that's important as well. The other thing is you should have a list of things that you want to be able to help this person with when they pass away. And that's very important to make sure you've got that all lined up.
Wow. Okay, so you put a human caring face on what it takes to seek support when you have no immediate family or anyone you can trust during that deciding how to do what's best for them. And sometimes you have to make the decision because they trust you. Am I right about it?
Yes.
Amen.
Yeah. And so that's relationship. And so you're going to have many people who might be watching, might have elderly parents who might be ill, might have a spouse who is ill, or might have a child who's ill. And it pulls stress. It's a stressor on a
Can
relationship.
I say, how do you talk about it? Because some people don't want to
Face it up.
don't want to face it.
Mhm.
Don't want to talk about what if, as if all of us are never going to die.
Right.
Right. Yeah. They said we'll get to that later, kind of thing, you know, that kind of thing.
Right.
So I don't know. We haven't dealt with people like that, but we know of people like that. You try to talk to them and they don't want to talk about that. So you have, in that case, I think you have to find somebody who is close to that person that they will listen to. So sometimes it's a friend, or it could be somebody at the church, or somebody in your sorority or alumni association that they will come around to, and they can get them to do things that perhaps a family member can't, or someone else can't.
Okay.
But I do have some information that I would like to share with people who may be online in terms of finding some help for
Yes, please.
things that you need.
Yes.
There is a government clearinghouse, if you will. And what you do is you go to, it's called Elder Care Locator. And if they have a pencil or a pen, this is the number that you would call.
Put that in the chat. Somebody will
put that in the chat, please, who's watching.
Yeah. So it's 1-800-677-1116. And you call that program, at that number rather, and it will ask for your zip code. And once you give them the zip code, they will connect you or tell you how to get in touch with the Agency on Aging in your area.
Give me the number again, Gladys.
That number is, and the number again, this number is to Elder Care Locator. It's 1-800-677-1116. And when they answer, they will ask you for your zip code. You will tell them the zip code, and then they will give you the number for the Agency on Aging in your area. And then there's this really good book. It's called The Source Book. You see that?
The Source Book.
The Source Book.
And if you would like a copy of this book, you can contact the publisher directly. And he is Steve Gurney, Gurney. And the number is 703-966-6182.
Okay.
That is the number again, is 703-966-6182. Now, he may be just in the Northern Virginia area, but I'm sure if you contact him, he will tell you how to get this book. It's free. Or you can reach him. You want the email?
Yes.
It's Steve, STEVE, at pro aging, AGING.com. Steve at proaging.com.
Okay, so we have the Source Book by Steve Gurney, Gurney.
Yes.
Okay, 703-966-6182. And his email is steve at proaging.com.
Yes. And these, our government tax money pays for all of this. And these are
Wow.
free resources that are available to people.
I think there's another company, nonprofit called Capital Care.
Okay.
And they provide you with end of life challenges you may have with how you want to leave here, quite frankly. And in Washington, D.C., it's free. I'm
It's
not sure.
free everywhere.
Is it free in Virginia?
It's hospice. And that's the other thing. People tend to think that you really, really have to be on your last leg to get hospice. That's not true.
Capital Care for hospice info.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you get Medicare covers hospice. It's free.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
And here, when you're around people, you learn things. So I was at one facility, the second facility that the person went to, and this lady had a wheelchair. She had a hospital bed, and she had these supplies. And I mean, she was sick now, don't get me wrong, but she wasn't really on her last leg, like, oh, you got 5 or 6 days left. Wasn't that situation. So I said, how did you get these things? She says, oh, you just contact your doctor and tell him that you need this and you want to go through hospice to get it. And so I did it too and got it for my person. Of course, now you can't stay on it forever if you're not really getting ready to go, because after they monitor you. But it's a great help because for me, they were sending a couple of ladies in twice a week to help with the bathing. So they sort of help the caregivers who are at the facilities.
That you're paying for.
Yeah, that you're not paying for, that Medicare is paying for.
Yeah.
So I was able to get a hospital bed, a wheelchair, and to bring the oxygen in, just in case, and that kind of situation. But I also just want to say, if you have someone in a facility, you need to check on them. You cannot trust them. They are nice, but you need to be there to make sure that they are fed properly, that they are changed properly. And so that's why I make sure I go at least 2 to 3 times a week to see my friend. And you have to stay on top of,
You're an advocate. You're becoming an advocate.
I am the advocate. Yes. Yes. Right. And so that's quite important. Now, the other thing is some of these facilities, people will hire their own caregivers. Now, if you can afford that, that's quite fine. But most of us can't afford to pay to be in the place and still have to pay an additional amount of money. And I think these caregivers, those private caregivers, probably charge somewhere between $25 and $30 an hour. So it's just too expensive, because where we are now, we are paying $141,000. Last year, we paid $141,460 for our person to be at this facility. And the other thing, you should try to get long-term care insurance if you can. Now, again, going back to this person, she was very smart to get it through the financial advisor that I was telling you about that came to her school. Yeah. But she got it back in like early on, 2007, 2005. When it
was a new thing, when long-term care was
and
a
they
new
didn't
thing.
know how
before they worked out the bugs. And see, so many people now have Alzheimer's and whatnot. And it's hard to get that insurance. And if you can get it, because even with us, our insurance goes up by like $500 a year. Mm-hmm. But this person, she was able to get the insurance, and she it lasts forever as long as she lives. And we no longer pay a monthly premium. In fact, they give me a cost of living every year. So her long-term care last year paid $100,467.67. So we only had to pay out of pocket like $40,000 to to go to pay that $141,460 I told you about.
Wow. So
Now our long-term care is for 6 years each.
Yeah, ours too.
That's about it.
And you can borrow, from each, but so by the time they figured it out, they're like,
they put some guardrails and limits.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk more about the lessons you've learned, and how you've, as a couple, have weathered the storms. There've been storms like Gladys's sister being ill and coming to live with you. That's hard. That puts stresses on your relationship. All of those things. I know you said you're a partner, Ron. I guess I want to ask you, what's your mindset when you have to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We have to do this.
Yeah, you know what's interesting, Willie, as you bring that up. You first get married, you walk down the aisle, and everything's rosy. Everybody's smiling, high-fiving, looking forward to the marriage and all the challenges may have. What we don't think about as we walk down the aisle, who we're going to take care of at the end of their life.
Right.
Who's going to take care of us?
Right.
Yes.
In our lives. And you got to begin to put that together as well as you put your plans together for the future.
For better, for worse, for
Yes,
rich
sir.
or poor, in sickness or in health. And so many people say it, but they don't really understand that is a vow. That is a very serious vow. And then when you say for better or for worse, what's worse? If your mother-in-law had to move in, your father-in-law had to move in, they had memory care issues, or your spouse had to go across the country to live with the parent while they're in their last years. I just talked to someone recently who said that, it was, I had lunch with a guy on Friday, last week, and the father was taking care of the mother. Mm-hmm. The mother had Alzheimer's. The father was in good shape. He slipped, hit his head, and died.
Wow.
And died. He was the caregiver. So the daughter had to go over to, no, he didn't die immediately. He slowly crept away. So she had to go over and watch him as he went down and took care of the mother and leave the husband. Wow. And now the husband is dealing with stage 4 cancer, and she's taking care of him again. Caregiving. It's tough. It's tough. But they said that I asked them how did it impact their marriage. They said, like you said, we made a decision. We were in this for the long haul. Good, bad, up or down, better for worse, richer for poor, sickness and health. This is it.
I think that's pretty common. My accountability partner.
Yeah.
Frank, my business accountability partner that I talked to today, his wife is in Mexico for the next 2 months taking care of her dad who had hip replacement surgery. And the mom is not able to help. And so his mother came to live because they have, they got little children. Yeah. They have little children.
So that shows you what y'all said is, we made a commitment, even though on that happy day when we got married, that we were in this for the long haul. 47 years later, you're still in it for the long haul. And that's a wonderful lesson.
And it's a challenge too. I mean, you've got to manage your own life and lifestyle.
Yes.
Now you incorporate it with someone else's needing to have your care as well.
Right.
So I think cooperation really becomes key. Empathy.
Right.
And cooperation
and real partnership. And
scheduling.
And so, it's good if you can take care of the person like that. But as you know and said, it is a lot. So there are agencies out here that will send people. In fact, we did that for a while with both of these people. We went through an agency and had caregivers to come in. And so that's another, resource, but that can be expensive too. So, and again, you have to know the person that you're dealing with. The one that passed, we had to make sure that, because she didn't take to people well at all. And in fact, the first person that we had to go there.
Got
The
fired.
person got fired the first day. So, I mean, we got there. Well, first of all, we asked her, well, why did you let the stranger in? And she didn't know. So then she said, who is she? So afterward, we said, she is here to take care of you and what, I don't need any help. And she can't stay here. So Ron and I had to take her back to her home, and that didn't work. So we eventually got someone, but she had to come, and eventually she had to have somebody to be with her 24/7. So these agencies have people that will come by the hour, and they will come by the day, or in this case, it had to be by the week. So we had a lady who would come in at 7 o'clock on Monday morning and stay until 7 o'clock Friday evening. And then we had to have another girl to come at 7 o'clock Friday evening and stay until 7 o'clock Monday morning. And it got to be very expensive, like up to maybe $18,000 a month. But we could not have 3 people coming, working the 8-hour shift around the clock, because she couldn't adjust to that. It was too much movement. So we had to make sure we had that situation. And then when it got so that we were running out of money, then we had to put her someplace else and sell her condo, which she didn't like. But, that's how we finally helped her. And with the other one that we still take care of, we started noticing things about her. And that's the other thing, is little things that you notice, that you can't find my keys, can't find my coat. We spent a couple of times at a party looking for a coat that the person wore, that she thought she wore, and it was the wrong color, that kind of thing. I said, well, it asked me, I knew what color coat she wore, but anyway. So little things you notice, not eating. And so we had someone to come to stay with her for like 3 days a week. And then they started noticing things, and they said, Gladys, I think she's going to need somebody here at night. And then the neighbors would tell me some things like leaving the blinds open on a busy street, that kind of thing, and people leaving the lights on. Right. So little things like that. So it started out with 3 days a week, and then it ended up we had someone there with her around the clock until it got to be too costly too. And then that's when we moved her to a facility that was much less expensive.
I had lunch on Friday with a long-term friend who I grew up in the same church, and we've had dinner with him and his wife numerous times. They moved to Florida. They came back.
Retired judge.
Yeah.
And she's an attorney too.
Very well-known, very well-respected attorney. But when we went to dinner the last time with the two of them, we all noticed something was off with her. Something was odd. The way she talked, the way she stared. Well, come to find out, she was on her thought in that process. She now is in a facility. He said they've been, he hadn't lived with her in 4 years, 3 years.
Isn't that long?
Maybe 3 years, he said, because it's been about
they've only been back
a few years. Well, he said he hadn't been with her. They've been living together 2 or 3 years, but he goes to visit her every day. Mm-hmm. And he said most days she knows him, and then what she does is introduce him every day to the staff. Oh, hey, everybody, I want to introduce you to my husband. Mm-hmm. And so she doesn't remember that they knew him. So
but the incident that
made him do it. Yeah, that's what made him decide, because he was trying to do it himself and bring in people during the day. And one night he woke up and she was gone. And he got up and looked around the house, and he said he looked all over and got in his car and found her some blocks away in her night clothes, just walking in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. That was it. So you guys have given such elder care information, the source book, capital care. I do want to ask, we're a little over, but I want to ask, what are some of the I got some I got to share. When your daughter got married, we were at the wedding. was a wonderful service. James Brown, our dear friend, was the officiant. He said something that I kept in mind when we wrote the book. Your home should always be a place of peace, safety, and happiness. To make your home your sanctuary, you both must make the decision to ditch the drama and leave it with your parents. You should leave, cleave, and weave. And I remember JB saying that. What does that mean? In Genesis 2:24, that is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife. They become one. When you marry, you leave the parent-child relationship. You create a new family. Then you cleave to your mate, which means the bond and become one with your spouse. Then you weave a new life together. When I was a child, I thought like a child. I acted like a child. I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. We recommend that you, when you get married, you leave childish things in the past. You leave your parents' home. You cleave to each other, and you weave a marriage. And JB gave those instructions to your daughter and her new husband. How long they been married now? About 10 years or so now.
13 years.
13, yeah.
13.
Oh my God. It was just yesterday we were at the wedding. One more thing I want to tell everybody. Dee and Gladys had the same birthday. They had the same birthday. And every year, I got a joke. Every year, Ron and I talk. Usually, it's October 30th, and usually around October 15th or 20th, we call each other and say, hey, where are we going to go this year? But one year, Ron called me in the summertime. He said, hey, I got an idea for where we take the girls this year. And I said, this is early, Ron. I mean, why are you calling so early? He said, well, I got a big idea. I said, what's the big idea? He said, how about Paris? I said, Paris? You know how much it costs to go to Paris, Ron? I started babbling and bumbling. What man? And he said, ha. You know, I work for a big computer firm. I'm the head of sales. Yeah. Well, we had a really good quarter, and our team got some real good gifts. And how would you like to know that I got 4 vouchers to Paris? I said, bonjour, mon ami. Well, on October the 30th that year, we had dinner that evening at the foot of the Eiffel Tower, had a fabulous time, a few days in Paris.
Yeah.
And they did not know where they were going. We just told them to pack a bag, and they didn't know till we got to the airport and got on a plane to Charles de Gaulle Airport. So y'all have a wonderful marriage. You've got how many grands you got now?
5.
5 grandchildren, and you've just been all over the world. You travel to Hawaii, still even now, Hawaii and to the West Coast where 2 of the grandchildren are. What did you tell your daughter? What did you tell your son when they got married? What was some of the just wisdom you said?
Wow. And he got married, of course, well before his sister did.
Yeah.
And the key word is it is a partnership, and without a doubt, and it takes both effort to make it work. And what you put in is what you get out. There's no way around it.
Yeah. What you put in and what you put out, what you get out. Yeah.
They each have excellent partners, and so that helps a great deal too, and keeps them strong and whatnot.
That's good.
That's good. We think that's a major part of it, and effort. We often hear people say marriage is work. We don't like to use that word. We like to say marriage takes effort. It takes effort, and you can't just let it coast. You must do something to make it survive. Well, thrive. That's right. Survive and thrive. That's right. Thank you, Dee. Well, any closing thoughts, Gladys and Ron Pemberton, that you want to share secrets for 47 years or about caregiving?
One of the things I would suggest is you put together a plan to make it work and let everybody know what the next objectives are to make it a success, whether it's marriage or whether it's support for caregiving. You need a plan. You just can't walk in haphazardly and make it work on its own. It's going to take effort, time planning, and just to make the overall project work for everybody's benefit. You don't want to wear yourself out trying to take care of someone else.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
find time for yourself. But I do want one other thing. This is open season for insurances, Medicare and whatnot. I think Medicare has 7 different things that's going to be new this year. So a lot of areas are holding workshops, and so you can check your area to find out if one is being held. This one was held at Mount Olive Baptist Church this past Saturday. And again, check with your churches and see if they're offering anything on. It's called Gearing Up for Medicare's Open Enrollment.
Wow.
And,
Gearing up.
For Medicare.
Gearing Up for Medicare's Open Enrollment.
Great.
And it talks about medications and prescription costs and whatnot. So you can check, when you call that number, that locator number, you might ask them about that too, if there's anything in your area that you can attend.
You mentioned one more thing you have a heart for, and I want to make sure we get a little plug in for it, is Virginia State University. And y'all are both alumnus of Virginia State.
That's
and you
right.
raise lots of money for scholarships annually. Anywhere people can know to go and if they want to bless the school students or the school that you would direct them to?
Oh, absolutely. For our chapter, you can go to vsuaanova.org. That's the Northern Virginia chapter of Virginia State University Alumni Association.
Okay, you got to say that slower.
Okay. vsuaanova.org.
Got it.
Okay. Well, I know that you have a heart for that, and we've been to the party. It's a great party every year.
We just had one.
As our schedule allows, we go and we dance and we do the wobble and we do everything. We just have a good time. So
we gave out 19. We gave out 12 scholarships this past year and 7 grants, and the grants are for our existing students at Virginia State from the Northern Virginia area.
Wow. Well, I encourage you. They committed to that. She was a teacher for many years. As I said, he was a computer and IT sales rep and executive, and they are very gracious and generous with their time and their resources to help others. And as I said, he prays every week. Let's pray for the caregivers. Pray for the caregivers.
Thank you all so much for having us on this evening.
Well, thank y'all for being our guests.
Great information.
Yes, great information. And we look forward to our dinner this year. We're not going to Paris this year, but we'll find somewhere nice to go, Ron.
It's next week,
Yeah, it's coming up, Ron. It's about time for us to jump on a phone call and get our plan, okay?
We'll do it, Willie.
And it's my big one, so yay.
Yay, that's right. This is a significant. Amen. Praise the Lord.
8-0.
8-0. You might as well say it. Look at her. Can y'all see her? Look at as gorgeous as she does at 80 years old. What an amazing. She is. Black don't crack. That's what they say, D. Well, she is just a model, and she does her exercise and take care of grandchildren. Praise the Lord. That's all we want to say. Am I right about it? Praise the Lord. Thank y'all. God bless you. Oh, and
thank you.
Remember, go get jollymarriage.com. Go jollymarriage.com. Get 2 copies of the book. And then our new book, only people in my network can get access to the new book. It's not at Amazon, not in bookstores yet. Go to richisgood.wealthyisbetter.com or just go to my website, winwithwillie.com. I drop down, we'll hit it. Get this first edition version. These are limited. There are only a few in print, and then half of those are gone. And then the thousands and thousands will be in print of the final version. So do this now. Rich is good, wealthyisbetter.com. Life-changing. We're so grateful for Pastor Jamal Bryant, who not only endorsed it last Sunday, but preached his whole sermon on it and told everybody in his church to get that book. So God bless y'all. Have a great week. All right. Thank y'all.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. See you soon.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.